Alright guys, I just wanted to show you a piece of equipment that I use. It's real simple and inexpensive. I use this to teach kids, and what it is this is a 1022 Ruger with a Burris drop line scope, and I've got a laser here, and this is a ridiculously powerful laser. It's a green laser, and it projects. This laser will go down range probably about a half a mile. Ridiculously powerful. Uh, but what happens is when the kids see that green dot on the end on their target, and they see that when they make any kind of unnecessary moves, they see that green dot move, and that tells them not to move. So that green dot there, when that green dot moves, that tells them that they have to hold the rifle still, and then when they hit their target, it gives them a feeling of achievement, that hey, I can hit this. This is cool. I'm really going to get into this sport. So this is kind of an idea of where you can start from. You want to stabilize your tool, and here's a good way to do it. And this setup is pretty cheap. This is called the Blackhawk Sportster. And I like equipment from Blackhawk, and this has been a really good one. So this is what I use to teach with, and it's been amazing. So anyhow, this is my setup. I built this from scratch, and if you want to be a do-it-yourselfer, it really isn't that hard. It saves you from having your tool that you're going to use out in the field adjusted by some kid in a department store. And so it's real simple. You can do this yourself. You can put this scope rail on. It's really easy. There's holes pre-tapped, pre-drilled, and so you just use your screws, and yeah, you just don't want your screws backing out. And there's a number of different ways that you can go about stopping that from happening. Just do a little research and find which one you like. And like I said, here's another set of screws to attach your rings to your rail, and then you will seat your scope into your rings, and you can use a level and make sure that everything's nice and level and straight and is the correct distance from your eye that you like, and then just put your rings on and do it in the right order so that it doesn't upset the balance of your scope, and that all your rings and that the gaps are the same. They're all uniform across from all sides. So anyhow, it's pretty simple, and then just play with it. A 22 is a nice way to start out. You start out with your 22 and adjusting your scope with your shots at close range to start, and just move out from there, and just get bigger cartridges, and slowly move up and advance. And it takes a little while to get it, but you'll get it, and then you can really start doing real micro fine adjustments yourself at extreme long distances. Hey guys, Tim here, and I wanted to go over sight-in procedures, because when you're out in the field and you're using your equipment, the potential that any modern tool that you'll use for hunting and that you buy, even a box store gun, a cheap gun, has the potential to shoot extremely accurately and really deliver out in the field. And I'm going to show you just a few examples of how to get the most out of that. Okay, here's your standard hunting rifle, and I like to go. My two favorite companies for rifles is Savage and Thompson. And the reason I really like them, especially Savage, is they put all their money into the barrel. The stock is very mediocre, but you can change that. You can do anything you want to this rifle, basically. You can change the trigger. I've done a lot of trigger work on mine, and basically you're going to get the same kind of performance out of any of these two rifles, a Thompson or a Savage, as you would out of any high dollar hunting rifle. Now the adjustments are very straightforward. You want your rifle to be as stationary as possible. You can't have this thing move. Your adjustments are on the top, and you follow your MOA, and all of your measurements are available. Especially if you do your research ahead of time, you'll know exactly at what distance and how many clicks you'll need to do for an adjustment. It's very simple. Turn the click. You turn your dial counterclockwise for up, clockwise for down, and then your right and left is on the right adjustment on the side of the scope. Anyhow, it's very simple. You're basically sighting in your scope and adjusting it with your rifle. And I'm going to show you some field exercises of how we do that. But the way that you want to shoot this weapon, chamber your round, and you don't want to jerk it. This is what'll throw you off in the field. Anything that you do here, a few inches here, or even a micro shrug, will adjust and be completely amplified downfield. So you want to hold this thing as still as possible. Not in the movies where they go like this. You want to be stable. You want to nice, crisp, barely touch it, and you want that thing to ignite and with no movement. And that'll give you extreme accuracy down range. I took an elk last year with this rifle, and that bullet went exactly where I wanted it at 350 yards. Precision equipment. Now pistols are a very sensitive piece of equipment. A lot of people tend to shrug. They tend to move. I don't know if they've seen too many movies or what, but a pistol, you need to hold this thing very still when you shoot it. And a lot of people make the mistake of buying a very high power Magnum cartridge for their first pistol, like a 44 Magnum. A 44 Magnum is a more advanced pistol for advanced shooters. I would start with something smaller, and say if you do go with a 44 Magnum, practice with 44 Special ahead of time, because especially if you're going to be a pistol hunter, you need to really hold this thing still. And so when you're practicing, first make sure you're empty. And a lot of people like to get what they call those dummy rounds to put in here. You can use empty casings, whatever you want. And basically, the way that you're going to shoot this weapon is you want to be stable. If I'm going for long range accuracy, I'm going to put this thing on my target, and you don't want to touch anything that's metal on this gun. Only what's rubber and what's provided for you. Never put your hand up here. You got fire. You've got material discharging from the cylinder, and that goes with an automatic. You have the slide coming back. You've got mechanics up here with your hammer and different things. So only touch what's rubber. You want to brace, you want to stabilize, pull your hammer back, and just easily ease that trigger back, nice and crisp, and release. And this will give you the accuracy that you're looking for. And that's the proper way to discharge a firearm. So anyway, I highly recommend picking a safe spot. I check my weapon. I know it's empty. I've got a brick wall on the other side of this door. I'm completely safe. Sit here and practice. Just practice shooting empty. Okay? Get used to the sights. Get used to pulling the trigger and being accurate. Now, I really like this gun because it has so many possible adjustments that can be done on it. These are tangent sights. Okay, so I move the different screws, and I can move this sight anywhere that I like, that I feel comfortable with. So we're going to do some field operation, and I'm going to show you how to get really accurate with this particular pistol. Even a pistol with this short of a barrel at long distance. Okay, here's another one. Here's an example of an automatic. Okay, you have a lot less freedom to move the sights around. Basically, all you can do is go right to left with these. But I can't complain. The same premise exists when you're shooting. Just be very stable. ease the trigger back every time, and you know, have a nice stance, use ear protection until you get really comfortable with it. And so anyhow, the same ideals behind that. And here's the ultimate example of open sights rifle adjustment that I have. I like this one because this is a hood sight in the front. Now this one I can't adjust much, I can only go left to right. But this rear sight, this is really nice because this is a peep sight, and I can go right to left, up, down. I've got all kinds of adjustments I can do. I can get this thing just really precision at long distance. And so anyhow, you just turn your screws to make your micro adjustments, and you can get all kinds of accuracy. So we're going to go out into the field right now, and I'm going to show you basically how to stabilize your tool and how to get the kind of accuracy that you're looking for out in the field.
I was shooting at that plate.
Hit that one.
You can hit this.
You guys can tell my grouping is pretty terrible, and I'm way high. So I've got to come down way low and start really grouping a lot better. Alright guys, so I just noticed that I'm shooting really high, and so I'm going to have to get my grouping down. My grouping was terrible, so I've got to improve that. And the way that I'll shoot higher, or I mean lower, because I have to drop this back sight, is I will turn clockwise. So I'll turn clockwise, and this will bring the sight down, and then that'll force me to bring my front sight down. And I'm gonna guess, just by judging the distance, I need to come down about 5 clicks. Okay. And then I'll 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. Sonny got a bullseye, and then I think this one was yours, and then these 3 maybe no. Sonny's.
These 2 are already there. I think these 2 and then these 3.
Yeah, so you're grouping now.
Yeah.
And then I got 2, 3, it looks like 4 right in the bullseye, and 1 off to the side.
All right.
Okay guys, I'm gonna demonstrate a rifle with a semi-high powered scope at long distance. This is gonna be my elk gun. And the way that you'll do your adjustments is pretty clear on your scope. Here it'll tell you up or down on this on the top side, and then right or left on your right on your adjustments. Now another way you can save yourself a little money and time is to know what your weight is. And I usually shoot 164s. I'm shooting 174s right now, so it's a heavier bullet, and it's gonna zero right about 150 yards. So I can take that into account when I do my math. So anyway, that'll save me a little time, because I'll know exactly how much to click at what distance, and that'll just save me time, because adjusting one of these is so sensitive it could take a lot of time. But anyhow, we'll see where we're at on this first shot. It should be pretty close. Okay guys, I was gonna adjust it. That's my Thompson 7mm Magnum, but I have 2 in the center. I must have shrugged once, but as you can see, I don't think I'm gonna need to do any adjustments. I want to do 1 more group just to be 100% sure that it's gonna do what I want, and this is what I want. That's 150 yards approximately, give or take a few yards, but if it groups like that at 150, it's going to group like that at 300. So I can get an elk that way for sure. It plugged it.